My name is David Eddy. I'm the Family Resource Coordinator with Trimble County Schools. And one of my charges from the FRC is that we try to do family engagement activities. One of them that's been very successful in the past is making a scarecrow. We did a dad's night out and a family engagement with that. And people asked for it several years. We tried to do it every other year. And this year is our year to make a scarecrow. Because of COVID-19 restrictions, we're going to basically do a video and have you folks make it at home, and it's a great time and a lot of good family time.
I'm Steve Consley. I'm the new Community Education Director. I'm also going to be helping out on the scarecrows and making one of my own. They'll be on display at the elementary schools for a couple days each, and you'll be able to see what we're up to.
All right, first of all, I want to tell you what we're doing today is just giving you ideas of what you can do, and there will be a directions go home with the students, and they'll be able to follow those directions, but there are many ways you can do this. This whole thing with the scarecrow is recyclable, which is really great, and we'll go over that as we assemble this thing. And we're not going to totally assemble it. Steve and I both will make one, and it will be on for the children to be able to view it at the elementary schools. Mine will be sitting in a rocking chair as you come in the door at Bedford for 2 days and 2 days at Milton. And then Steve's will rotate them so you get an idea on how to do it. And Steve and I probably end up with totally different ways of making them. But we like you to get real creative, mom and dad, and your child with how to make these. All right, first thing I'm going to show you is what you need to work with. You need some old clothes. Now, in my case, I have a farm, and believe it or not, I still wear these old crummy looking things. But, and I'm going to recycle them because I'm going to reuse them. Again, I'll go back to wearing them. But I have a sweatshirt here, and if you'll notice there, this is already tied off. We'll go back to that in a minute. I have a pair of bib overalls. So there's my tops and my bottoms. I have some stuffing material. In the stuffing material, we use plastic bags. You can use newspaper. I have used rolled up towels, make great arms and legs. You can use old clothes. I don't know if I said that or not. You can use old clothes. We've taken newspaper and stuffed them in a plastic bag. One thing I want to caution you on, if you are doing an outside one where it's going to be in the weather and you're going to use newspaper or something like that, I'd advise you to put it in one of these bags to keep it from melting down when the rain comes. And also they get rather heavy in the newspaper when it's wet. One of the original scarecrows a lot of times were made with stuffing them with straw. We did that one year at Milton and Bedford, and I had straw everywhere, and it was a really dirty project. If you use these type of items here, it ends up not so much cleanup afterward. But one of the things I do like to fill them with, and I have made these with my grandchildren, is we like to fill them with leaves. If you're raking leaves in the fall, it's a really good thing to fill up the bags and then stuff those in there. And so you get your parents are getting your yards cleaned up for free, and you're recycling material making a scarecrow. And it's a real fun activity. I've got some markers here to decorate basically my face. Some tape to tie the ends of your shirts and your pants shut. You can use twine or rope or anything else you can come up with, but you have to close the openings so that whatever you're stuffing with doesn't fall out. This is an old sleeping bag that I have, and actually I'm going to stuff my chest with the old sleeping bag. And again, all this stuff that I'm using in mine will probably go back into being actually used. This was quick down dirty. I'll stuff it in one of these, and that'll become my chest for my scarecrow. Now, and the head, this is an easy way to do it, and that's to take one of these plastic bags like you pick up at Walmart or someplace and decorate it with a marker. I always do that when it's flat, and then after it's flat, I stuffed it, and this one, as you can see, is just stuffed with more plastic bags. And you can stuff things. You could put a soccer ball in there, you could do anything, and then decorate the thing and use it for head. If you get on the internet, there's a lot of other examples. People use pumpkins. They use dozens of other material for the heads. Here's how mine is going to be. I took a milk jug, the old one recycling, and did a poor job of putting eyes and a mouth on there, and that's what I'm going to do. Now, that's about all you really have to have. In my case, I'm going to put a hat on it and an old pair of shoes. It's going to be real well dressed to go to the garden. So we're gonna use all those things to do that. Steve, you wanna show them your materials?
Alrighty. My materials, somewhat similar. I've got an old pair of blue jeans, which I do tend to wear again, so once these are used up for Halloween and for fall season, they will go back into use. I'm using a nylon pullover. Trimble County Raiders, you'll notice a theme I have going on. I've got blue and gold scarf, and then blue and gold socks. I've got a Trimble County hat. I've got my newspaper for filling. I've got some hangers in case I want to bend the arms or legs a certain way. I can stick this in the middle and make those a little more posable. And I got my bag where I can stuff my papers in. I've got a couple more things off camera. I've got tennis shoes, silk tennis shoes, and a blue and gold basketball for my head. So I'm doing a Raiders theme, and that's what I got.
To continue on this project, first thing you need to do is tie your openings, your arms and your legs shut. Now, I say tie, you can use string. In my case, I had duct tape laying at home and I didn't have any string right. I grabbed this stuff this morning. But you can take a piece of tape and just close these up. Duct tape holds real well and doesn't take a lot of skill, especially if I'm doing it. I know it doesn't. And you can do that, and now you've got that tied shut, so whatever you're stuffing with doesn't leak out. And you do the same thing. I think I pre-tied, I did on that leg, and you do the same thing. Then once you've got those, then it's basically simply the process of stuffing them. Just to give you an example of a couple of things, like this is a towel folded up, and it works real good, say for a leg. You can just take a towel or some old clothing or whatever you've got and shove it down inside, and you see it starts to give it some dimension, and you see it, some 3D there, it starts to show a leg. And like plastic bags, either just alone or filled up with newspaper, and we've done that. You crumble the newspaper up, and you can take a plastic bag, and you have lots of them. You can put those in, and then just tie them up like this, and I'll stuff an arm for you over here. We'll take this and just work it down. That makes it look like I have really fat arms. I'm a football player, aren't I? All right, and so there you've got an arm and a leg. And again, we're not going to build this whole thing today and make probably an hour-long video, the speed at which I operate. But you can see it's very, very simple to do those two parts of it. My chest, again, with mine, I'm going to fold this up and put it in a plastic bag and put it in these bibs and then slide this shirt down over it. And so I've got my, after I fill the arms and the legs, so I have my whole thing filled up with 2 or 3 different materials that you can see. Then once you've got those filled, you need to figure a way to do that. Now I use bibs, that's sort of a cheater in a way, because I really don't have to have anything to hook mine with, because I got these bib straps. And once it's totally filled, you'll hook this up, and I'll put my straps up over and fasten my bibs, and I'll have a scarecrow. What I advise you to do is you can tie them together. I have filled these up and used a shirt tail and tied them to the bottoms if you use regular pants. You can put, I've noticed people take baler twine and they'll make suspenders out of it. There's different ways. Some people are really, really good. The old-fashioned diaper pins that snap together, they have used those. There's 100 different ways to fasten those together. And again, you can get real creative and use things that you have in the house. After that's finished, you'll put your head. Again, ours aren't finished, and I'm going to use this one for my head so you know what it looks like. This will be totally finished, built out. And I'm going to put this head in here like this, and it'll be hooked up. I'll actually figure a way to fasten this handle back here so that it's anchored down. And in my case, I have a hat that goes on him. And I wear one of these at home, believe it or not. And so you can see he's gonna look like a real scarecrow when we're finished with him. And again, these will be on display at Milton and Bedford Elementary next week. For a week at a time, starting next week. All right, and if you have any questions, there'll be a number on the flyer. Steve, you want to show them some of the ways you're doing yours?
Mine's going to be pretty straightforward with the pants and the shirt. And I've right now just got the newspaper for stuffing. I may go back and take some of Mr. Eddie's advice on things to stuff with. So I'm going to be laid out like that. I've got my Raider basketball, my Raider hat. The trick is going to be with low top shoes, getting them attached down here. If you've got like rubber boots or something like that, that works good because you can just slide your pants over the rubber boots and not have a whole lot of stuffing there to hold them together, and it works a whole lot better. It's going to be a trick. I do have socks and my scarf, and I was hoping for some Raider pom-poms, but we do not have those at the house anymore. And that's what mine's going to look like.
All right, this is a fun activity, family engagement. If you participate, students will be able to come down. I'll have a big tote with little prizes for participation. It won't be big prizes, but you know, it might be a Matchbox car, it might be an eraser, but there'll be a little participation. We want to be a website to post your finished Scarecrow on, and then we're going to have some kind of an independent panel judge the finished Scarecrow pictures, and we will be awarding probably 5 certificates for Hometown Pizza to go pick up the pizza at Hometown Pizza. So participate, all the students that participate will be getting some kind of a prize, and then the winners of the 5 pizzas will get a gift certificate. If you have any questions, there's a number on the flyer. You can call either one of us. We'll be happy to give you some advice. There are 50 or 60 sites that I looked at as far as how to do this, and probably even much better than I am, but there's sites that do it. But we really would like you just to come up with some creative ideas, everything about how to do this, and participate and have some fun with your children. Thanks for watching, folks.